Dr. Curry-Winchell, she joined us now for more on this and is the Regional Clinical Director of Carbon Health. Doctor, good to have you with us. So another airline, Delta, in a statement earlier this week, referred to COVID as an ordinary seasonal virus, similar to the flu. Now, Delta's walked back that comment. Remind us again why COVID is not like the flu and what does qualify as a seasonal virus.
Good morning. So there are several similarities between the two, such as fever, cough, and chills. However, they are different viruses, and it's important to remember that COVID-19 is more contagious, as well as it's associated with complications that, are very harmful to the lungs, heart, and brain. So those are two things that you have to really keep in mind when you think of the two different viruses.
Now, Dr. Anthony Fauci is warning new variants are on the way. They're already causing havoc on the East Coast. We have the Omicron subvariant, BA2. It's seen 2 mutations already. Then there's the Omicron XE variant. Lots of letters and Greek letters and numbers. How concerned are you about these variants? Will we always have a number of strains circulating in the public?
So I'm not surprised to see variants. This is what viruses do. They naturally mutate. And so the important thing is, how can we respond to those variants? And really taking a close look at how do they affect hospitalization rates? How do they affect the number of cases? So those are the important things to remember when you look at all of these different variants and numbers. How can you respond just to keep your family and your loved ones safe?
Finally, Dr. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, she's warning of a rising COVID tide driven by the variants we were just discussing. What do you see as the biggest obstacle for New York going forward, which always seems to get sort of the beginning of these waves in the U.S.? Will this wave end, do you think, as we head into later into the spring or the warmer months?
So the biggest obstacle is to really take note and how to respond based on the number of cases. So when we see New York really have a rise, we have to really monitor, should we start wearing masks again? What can we do to improve the amount of testing? So I would say to New York, continue to do your best. But, as a nation, we are just keeping a close eye on how those variants respond and how we can keep our entire country safe.
Last hour we heard Scott Gottlieb, a soundbite from him where he said he thinks that maybe only 1 in 7 or 1 in 8 of COVID cases out there are actually being reported. That's because so many people are testing at home and it's not being reported to a county government, a city government, a state government, or anything like that. Do you think those numbers might be right? And how worried are you about the fact that there may be way more COVID out there right now than we're actually able to measure?
So I am concerned. So we have a wonderful offering of now at-home tests, which are wonderful. However, we don't get to see those numbers as far as positive rates from the at-home test. So I think we really have to look at, the entire state or county and respond accordingly. So I am concerned, and I think we just have to continue to closely monitor.
All right. Thank you, Dr. BCW Curry-Winchell. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.